Rolling.
Hello kindergarten, hello TK. This is Mrs. Miramontes here. I'm here to talk with you about apples. It's my thing. I have my lovely assistant Noah. He's my apple boy. And it's being filmed by my lovely assistant Nicholas. I also have my lovely assistant Stormy over here. And there's some assistants over there. Oh, there she goes. Okay, here we go. Nicholas. All right, here we go. Apples, 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 apples for everyone by Bill Esteban. You see that?
Hey, come here.
I'll tell you the story of apples. Seen any apples today? Can you see the pages, Nick? Early each year in orchards and backyards, apple trees bloom. So this, remember we talked about orchards, and an orchard is a place where there's a whole lot of apple trees. They can be different kinds of apple trees too. Drawn by the sweet smell, bees buzz from blossom to blossom. As time goes on, petals flutter into the grass and fuzzy bumps appear. Slowly, baby apples grow bigger and bigger, turning all shades of red or green. Apples might have golden speckles or snazzy stripes, be as round as a ball or as lumpy bottom apple. Limbs droop heavy with ripe fruit. Some apples thud to the ground, then rot and become food for the growing tree. Why do you think they might fall to the ground? Do you think they might be heavy? Do you think the limb might have so many apples on it that boom, some fall to the ground? You're right. At last it's fall, harvest time, and fresh apples are everywhere. Grocery stores and farmers market and roadside stands. You might even get to climb up a ladder and pick your own. Your teeth sink in, crunch, and a tart sweet juice dribbles down your chin.
It's all different colors.
People bob for apples at Halloween parties or dip them into melted caramel for a sweet, gooey treat. Yum. Apples may be baked into pies or cinnamony desserts or added to a yummy Thanksgiving stuffing. Some are cooked into thick applesauce or crushed to make apple juice. On chilly nights, a steaming mug of tangy cider chases the goosebumps away.
Oh, so good. Cider's so good.
We like cider. We like everything apples, actually.
Yeah.
Apple trees have been growing in America for hundreds of years, since colonists brought pipped apple seeds from England. Do you remember a story I read you about? You're awfully crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember a story I read you about Johnny Appleseed? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Listen to this. When most Americans were still unsettled, a pioneer named John Chapman spent his summers hiking through the wilderness, planting apple seeds wherever he went. What do you think his nickname was? That's right, Johnny Appleseed. And apple seeds lie in its core. Cut an apple crosswise and you'll see the shape of a star. Do you remember that from last week? Yeah. Each star has pockets and every pocket has a 1 or 2 seeds sleeping inside. I'm getting close so you can see that. Can you see that? Remember when we did that last time? So fun, huh? Americans eat more apples than any other fruit. It's the #1 fruit because it's so good.
Yep.
There are many flavors to choose from, with names like Fuji and Gala, Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, Jonathan, Macintosh, Pink Lady, Red Delicious. Have you found your favorite? Look at the bottom there. You see that? All those beautiful colors of apples.
Red Delicious.
Fuji.
Red Delicious.
Ah, love that first bite. Delicious. Sounds so good. Okay. Here we go. I gotta show you something. Can you get a little closer so you can see all the details on my sign, please, Nick? just scooch the thing. Okay, so an apple, an apple, an apple. Yep. Now, here we have a special sign. This is the part of an apple. It says parts of an apple. So there are all kinds of parts that go into an apple. We know an apple starts with a seed, right? And you put the seed into the ground, you cover it with some soil, get some rain, some sunshine, and it needs some space. And then what happens? Grows into an apple tree. From the apple tree, when it's time, it will start its process. And it starts with just a little blossom, and then it grows to a little green fruit, teeny tiny, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets heavier. And then at the very end, when it's close to fall, it starts to change color to its color that it's going to be when it's all ripe and ready for us to eat, which is like this one.
And like
It has a little bit of red and a little bit of green, and I had my son Noah go to the kitchen and cut it because I wanted it to look just like our chart here. So this is the apple, and look, bing, that is the inside of the apple. Can you see that? All right, so let's look here. So this one doesn't have very much. Does yours have a stem? No, doesn't have very much of a stem, but you can kind of see it right there at the tippy top, right? So that's the stem. Stem. Everybody say stem. Good. Sometimes if you get an apple, especially if it's from an orchard, you're more likely to get this, but it might still have, can you stop please? It might still have a leaf attached to it because the leaves grow on trees and they also grow in the apples. So we have a stem and a leaf, right? Then we have this part of the apple. You wanna hold that for me?
Yeah.
And kind of point as I'm pointing, hold it up so they can see. So this part of the apple is called the skin. Skin right down here. Just like we have skin, an apple has skin. It's the part that protects it. Our skin protects us, and the skin on the apple protects the inside. The inside, this part right here, the part that's so delicious, is called the flesh. Say flesh. Good. All right, so that's the yummy part, right? So we have the stem, a leaf, the skin, the flesh, and then this whole part right here is called the core. Now, do we eat the core?
Yeah.
It doesn't taste very good. It's kind of a little crunchy, a little too chewy, right? The flesh tastes much better. So we don't eat the core. So that's the apple core. We don't eat that part. That's the middle section, right? And that the core actually can encompass the very bottom and all the way, including the seeds, and all the way up to the stem. The last thing that we're going to talk about are the seeds, and the seeds are right in the center. Can you see those seeds? Right there. They're right there. There's a couple of seeds in here, and we cut it this way. So we cut it vertical, up and down. If we would have cut it like this, that's when you see the star. Okay, so we cut it this way because I wanted it to look just like our poster. So this is parts of an apple: stem, leaf, skin, flesh, core, and seeds. So you heard apples for everyone, and you learned about the parts of an apple. Go eat an apple. Cheers.
Just like me.